Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to the Citytilidie channel. And today we have on our regular features. Not done one of these for 3 or 4 weeks. I've had a couple of away games where I've not been able to do it, but it's our regular match day programme watch where we have a look at where, as we know, City aren't producing an actual hard copy. We've just got sadly a digital copy, but other clubs have been producing them, so we've been having a regular feature. If you join with me, obviously check the playlist if you haven't, if you're new to this. So every sort of away game we've been doing analysis on the top programmes and rating them, etc, etc. I mean, at the moment this young boy is in the lead, the Fulham programme, nicely in the lead at the top of the table there. You'll see the tables later on, but yeah, that's at the top. So that's Villa we're going to look at this year. Well, that's last year's. That finished 7th last year out of 10. Not a bad little programme actually. And then this is what we're going to look at today. So join me as we look for the very latest Aston Villa versus Manchester City programme. It was played on 21st of April 2021. So we're going to look at that and rate it and see if it can threaten Fulham at the top of the table. See if it can do any damage to that. So please join me. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications if you enjoy this. I try and inform and entertain on all these City vlogs, past and present, quizzes, book clubs, loads of stuff on City there. And if you look through, you'll also see some film and TV stuff as well. I have a little film and TV channel. I do movie reviews and TV drama reviews, information vlogs, stuff like that. So please check that out as well if that's of any interest. If it's not, don't worry, there's loads of football here. I mean, you might know somebody who might be interested in the film and TV channel. That would be appreciative if you could point them in my direction. But we're talking football today, aren't we? And if you're new to Facebook or Twitter, or if you're on Facebook and Twitter and want a few more friends and followers, please seek me out on the links that are on screen now. I do check every 2 or 3 days and follow and friend everyone back on there. So I do post loads of football stuff and specifically City stuff, of course, on Twitter and Facebook as well. So all comments are very welcome if you're a programme collector as well. I mean, there's a couple of guys out there. You know who you are. One of them is Luke. Hi, mate. How you doing? Very keen like me. Likes his programmes, likes collecting, likes going out and buying them. So enjoy this anyway, mate, and everybody else, please enjoy this little look at the Aston Villa programme. And if you can give us a comment, fair enough. If you can't, just give us a thumbs up. At least it's nice to get thumbs up. It's nice to get views, isn't it? It's nice when you're doing these to get a little thumbs up as well. I do a live show obviously now every Monday evening on UK time, 5 o'clock, but obviously with these pre-recorded things, it's just nice to get thumbs up when you publish them and they're out there on the Tinternet, out there on the Tinternet, aren't they? Right, so here we go. Yeah, Villa news and record. I must admit, it was £3, and I did open this up, and there are a number of unofficial programmes being made, and this just looked like an unofficial programme. It's not. It's the official programme, but yeah, just the initial thing, the actual look at it, the actual feel of it is very paperish, very very lacklustre, and I think there's these the printing inside isn't fantastic, but then I look at it and it sort of grew on me a little bit. I quite liked it because it's oldie worldy style, and you know me and my history and stuff. So I was quite impressed. Although my initial thoughts and my initial flick through as I do on these things was it's a bit small, which it is. I mean, you compare it to last year's Villa one. It's probably about just over half the size. So I mean, it is £3. It was £3.50 last year, so they have reduced the price by 50p. But I'm not going to slag them off because at least they produced one, and I say I'm not going to pick on them about that because at least he put one out there, which is fantastic. And there's certainly City and a couple of other clubs haven't bothered this season. So there you go. So it is 52 pages, which is probably the least I've had of any programme this season. There might have been one early in the season I forgot about, but that's certainly one of the least pages. 27% is ads and promos. So yeah, 14 of the 52 pages are all ads and promos on there, and as I said, it didn't feel great, but the sort of look grew on me. I said I did like that sort of dirty look. It has last year had a dirty look, and this one's got a similar sort of grubby feel to it, which I think is great actually from a history point of view. So it does actually, I do actually like that. I don't think that's a negative at all. So there you go. It does obviously cram a lot in these 40 pages. So let's have a look through anyway at some of the main things. It's got all the standard stuff that you would expect. It's hard. I mean, to open up, it's a bit awkward. You got to open it up against the crease, which is you know, it doesn't really flatten out, but then it doesn't sort of really destroy the middle of it, like. But obviously, with being only 50 odd pages and bound like this, it does sort of affect it a little bit the way it's done. So you go, obviously we get an advert for Kazoo, which you're bound to straight away. Dean Smith does a little chat to the fans, as you'd expect. There's a lot of question answer actually with Douglas Louise, which is quite interesting. So he's asking him about football, he's asking him about personal things as well. So that's all right, because it's usually the captain, isn't it? But it's nice to see a player pick straight away and some answers and questions. There's a question here: due to the COVID-19 pandemic, I imagine it's been a while since you've been able to see your family and friends. How have you found that? To tell the truth, it does hurt, especially recently. I haven't seen my mum for a year. There you go. Not seen his mum for a year. Poor man. No wonder he's perhaps not sort of pulling out great displays. He's not. His mum's not made him a big breakfast, has he? An English breakfast and stuff like this. But there you go. You might not like an English breakfast, might you? Then you've got your match action. Looking back at previous games, you've got Aston Villa against Leicester City. Then there's a great little quiz actually, a knowledge of tonight's visitors to Villa Park, and I had a quick look through the 10 questions, and I was struggling on 3 or 4 of them because the questions about Manchester City. But that's nice, because I say it's not specifically aimed at City fans, but I mean, as I say, it's not that easy for us to do. Never mind Villa fans. So obviously, there was one here. As a player, City boss Pep Guardiola had a unique international career. Do you know why? I mean, off the top of my head, I have not got an idea. So that's just like one of the questions, but it's quite interesting, a nice little start. And then that follows on to the City bit, of course, which obviously is showing all the correctly showing the trophies won, etc., etc. Not every club does that, and you get your pen pictures, meet the squad, which is pretty simple, nothing overly exciting. A bit on Pep Guardiola and the rest of the players there. So a few pages, and I like this opposition stats zone. So it's showing you like how many goals is scored and who scored the most goals, etc. Playing positions. So I quite like that. It's a nice little, just a sort of 1-page brief thing on City and what we did last time out. So obviously it's showing Chelsea 1, Manchester City 0. It's a bit depressing, and the lineups obviously not the greatest, but I like that. It's quite good. Only about 7 pages on City, but all right. It is what it is for this sort of program. Then they have a page on the academy, a page on the women's football, of course, which is par for the course. Foundation stuff, charity stuff, all this sort of thing. Then you have another match action: Leeds United 0, Aston Villa 1 from the February 2021 with a couple of images. So I always like match images. It's always nice to have them. And Trezeguet to undergo surgery. The Villa story opens, like our store did. A Villa diary. So obviously it's looking at March then. There's little things that happen in March. City used to do that on a regular basis. Not always, though. And you get your virtual mascots, of course, your young lads. But then there's a little junior clubs quiz there. So I say that's good fun. Visitor anagrams, numbers game, like shirt maths that I do on my quizzes, etc. The missing men, how good is your memory? Villa recently travelled to Liverpool, but our statistician lost his notes. Can you remember the starting lineup? So obviously similar to what I do, the missing player in the starting lineup. So good stuff for the junior Cubs fun time. Say just 1 page, but hey, 1 page is better than nothing, isn't it? And then the bit I like about these magazines, as you probably know, the history side, and obviously they're celebrating the 40th anniversary of the 80-81 League Championship triumph, obviously, that allowed them to go into Europe and obviously win the European Cup. Did you know they'd won the European Cup? I'm not too sure if anyone knew about that. So yeah, and it's showing different games, match tracker. So obviously it must be doing this every week, because obviously it's looking at different games from different weeks. Match 29, match 27, Everton versus Villa. I like the images of the old programmes as well from those games. The numbers game, fact files on players at the time who were playing. Numbers game on what was happening in 80-81. So you're talking about 8 pages here, which is pretty good. It finishes on match 30. Obviously, as it comes to the end of the season, at this stage, they're lying second to Aston Villa, of course, 80-81. So obviously that was the year Ipswich Town were trying to win a treble of their own, weren't they? Obviously, we ended up knocking them out of the FA Cup, and unfortunately, they did finish runners-up in the league to Villa, and obviously, but they did win the UEFA Cup, Ipswich. So yeah, so that's all about that season, the 80-81. So that was good. I enjoyed that. I did enjoy that side of it. And no doubt the next 2 or 3 programmes that they've got will probably finish that off, because That's all they should do, shouldn't they? Anyway, there you go. Then you got your Aston Villa results, blah blah blah, and then a sort of Tails talking, whoever Tails is. I don't know who this guy is. Obviously talking about Villa. And your team on the back. So yeah, not a fantastic lot in it, to be honest with you. For £3, it's not bad. As I said, I'm not gonna pick on any of these teams that are actually putting out a hard copy, because at least they're making the effort. So even if they, no matter if they finish first or bottom of the table, I'm not going to have too much of a downer on it. I mean, it does cram quite a lot in the 40 pages. A lot of good, some nice City stuff. And I said the highlight for me especially was that 80-81 and trying to look at things that connected with City. And then you say you get some good quiz questions on City as well. So I'll say it did put me off, but it sort of won me over just a little bit. By the end of it, because obviously I say there's a lot of nice content, but the thing is, it's only 52 pages, and no other team, even Swansea, who are currently bottom, they have the FA Cup programme, even that got a 6 out of 10. I think it had a few more pages, so it was quite interesting. So it's okay, but a bit, when I compare it to last season's, it sadly is a bit of a letdown. And my initial thoughts when I had a flick through is this is going to be bottom of the league. Having had a flick through, looked at some of the stuff, and it's pretty good. I liked it. I mean, that there with the Championship 80-81 little thing on the cover as well. I mean, they nearly won me over with that, but it's not going to work, Villa. You're not going to win me over with that. And I perhaps still haven't forgiven some of your horrible fans last season for being nasty at the League Cup final, but no, I'm not bothered. They didn't bother me. I'm only playing. Yeah, so I'm going to have to give them bottom. I'm going to have to put them to the bottom of the league. I'm going to give them a 6 out of 10, but I think they're 6 out of 10, which is the standard, and I said all credit to them. But in my little league table, they're going to end up back all the way at the bottom. You look at the league table that's up there now on the screen, and obviously well down on the Fulham programme, which remains top of the league with Sheffield United and West Ham second and third respectively. But no, well done. I said there was nice bits in it, but I think it's just the size that's allowed it to drop down the table like that, which is unfortunate. I'm sure next season when we're back to normal, it'll be back to an all singing, dancing one. It'll be back up there in the top 10. But hey, that's just how it goes, isn't it? Let me know anyway if you do collect programs. I know a couple of guys out there do. All credit to you. But any new watchers, any new subscribers that have just logged into this, let me know what you think. And as I'm doing this, I actually went to the Carabao Cup final a couple of days ago, and you couldn't actually buy a programme there, which I had obviously to do with COVID restrictions, but obviously one of my friends has told me that he got one, and it was an official one, so I've looked on the internet, and I've got an official one as well now, so I've got that to come. So there will be a review on that. I won't be putting it in a league table though, because I think I'll just look at that independently. And then I do have a Crystal Palace one to come as well. So obviously following on from this, you'll see them in the very near future. Anyway, thanks for watching. What are we going to do the rest of the day? Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other till we meet here again on the Citizen channel, or perhaps you have a flick across, have a look at my film and TV channel. I won't have a rest from football. All I ever ask you to do is please stay safe, Blues, stay safe, Villa fans. If any Villa fans are watching this, it's all credit to you. You've done a programme. That's all we can ever ask. But until we meet again, come on City. Thanks for watching. See you again later. Bye-bye.